All right, hello and welcome to another modern stream. What we have today, it's pretty nice, honestly. For those of you that don't know, Zach Allen and Harlan have a very cool podcast called the Up2Date Podcast, and both of them are mainstays, masters of the SCG tour. So if you follow Magic, you probably are aware of them. And basically, they made an entire episode about Titan Vial, and it was pretty enlightening in multiple ways. Number one, it was really cool to see which ways they would go, like which ways they would think that the deck would work. And on the other hand, it was also very interesting to see all the things that they misinterpreted or that they overlooked about the deck, which inspired me to make a video that I'm going to be making probably tomorrow or over the weekend, where I'm going to be doing an in-depth explanation of the similar to the demystifying AmuLIT Titan videos. I'm going to do a demystifying Titan Vial video. So one of the good things though that came out of Zach's and Harlan's discussion was that they thought about these different deck. Like, I think this deck is different enough to Titan Vial to the point that it honestly has very little in common with the deck. Excuse me. But it is interesting, and I wanted to give it a shot. So let's unpack it a little bit. This is obviously not a Vial deck, but it is a Wrenn and 6 deck, right? In being a Wrenn and 6 deck, though, I think that we are leaving a lot of value from Eldritch Reclaimer. I don't think that this is an Eldritch Reclaimer deck anymore. And that is the main difference that I see between Titan Vial and this deck. Titan Vial is not a Titan deck. And that is something that, in the Up2Date podcast, they really overlooked and misinterpreted about the deck. It's not a Titan deck. You should not play it as a Titan deck because it isn't. It's not built to maximize Primeval Titan. Primeval Titan in Titan Vial is basically what Teferi is to the Bant control decks. It is just your top end. It's just your top end and nothing else. So it's not a deck built around Primeval Titan. It is not. It is a deck built around the Eldritch Reclaimer. This is a deck built around Primeval Titan. The main goal, the main way that this deck is going to win is by casting Primeval Titan. So this is just like Scape Shift with memes. It's not, but sure. So it is a different deck. It works differently. It has more grinding capabilities, and it also has more interaction as well. So this is not a Reclaimer deck. Reclaimer is going to be much worse in this deck than it is in Titan Vial, because Reclaimer is the absolute nuts in Titan Vial. But Reclaimer is such a busted card that it's still gonna do work here. The difference that we have is that we're gonna be using our mana in a bunch of different ways with this list, which in Titan Vial, what Vial allows you to do is it allows you to use your mana to activate Reclaimer. So you can get your value engine going at the same time that you are using your mana to do stuff. So we're actually playing ramp in the form of Explore, of course, Dryad, and Oracle and Muldaya. Oracle was in one of my earlier lists of Titan Vial, but it was very, very, very underwhelming, so I ended up cutting it. It was one of the very first cards that I cut, actually. But here, because we have Wrenn and 6, we're basically never gonna lose land drop. One thing that is very important to note is that we have very, very few fetches. We have 4 fetch lands. I'm choosing to go with Windswept Heath over Wooded Foothills, and the reason for that is that I think it's very, very important that we have access to white lands in matchups where Blood Moon is a problem, right? Having access to more basic planes is what is going to allow us to play around and play through a Blood Moon and be able to answer it, since all of our answers to Blood Moon actually require white to be cast. So Wrenn and 6 is going to be weird in this deck in that the ultimate will basically never matter. Like, you can start looping Eladamri's Call and Explorers, which is cute and everything, but it's not the end game. The end game is the point of Wrenn and 6 is the plus. You want to be plussing and hitting your land drops. But because we're going to be using the mana to like cast Wrenn and 6 and stuff, that means that we're not going to be able to activate Reclaimer, which means that our Wrenn is going to lose value. So the ways that we're going to be able to get value from Wrenn is, of course, through the use of fetch lands, obviously. through the use of cycling lands, like Scattered Groves and Shelter Thicket, and Canopy lands, although we're not going to be particularly excited of using the Canopy land, because this is what it's going to cost us a land drop every time. Also, another way to get value from Rem is going to be when we draw multiple flagstones, right? Like one of them is going to get destroyed through the legend rule and we get to fetch for something else, but then we actually get, we can get the flagstones back. So those are going to be the ways that we're going to be able to get value from Rem. We have a little bit of an Eladambri's Call package, right? We have a Tracker, Corsair, Kurfix, Knight of Autumn, Oracle, and Gargaroth, and of course Primetime. And then we have a couple of Summoner Stacks. So we have a split between Calls and Pacts. Not sure about this one. Like, one of the good things why Aether Gust is not that good against Titan Vial is precisely because when they gust your Titan, you don't get time walked, right? Like, the issue with Summoner's Pact is that it's effectively a time walk in the face of Aether Gust. So your opponent will gust your Titan and then your next turn you're stuck paying for Pact. So if you call for the Titan, that's a lot easier. Like, you just don't care. You just draw your Titan on the following turn and you cast it. It's a lot easier. So I think I do like the split a lot, and particularly because we have access to Eidolon and even Mind Sensor from the sideboard. So those, of course, we can only call for, we cannot really pact for. So we have a couple of little value engines there. And that's pretty much what the deck is. Like, this deck is a lot more streamlined. We don't have as many tricks to do with Eldritch Reclaimer, with, you know, calling and vialing something in an instant speed. We don't have any of that aspect of the deck. This is way more straightforward. We're just like pedal to the metal, just trying to enact our game plan. And we see it reflected in the sideboard as well. We have cards like Veil of Summer, for example. This card, I tried it in Titan Vial, and I came to the conclusion that you literally just don't care. Like, you don't want to be using Veil of Summer because it doesn't do anything that you want to. You don't need the card. Lightning Bolt is kind of nice. It's access to early disruption. The only issue that I have with Lightning Bolt is that you know, it's gonna be kind of tough on our mana base. In fact, that's another aspect of Wrenn 6. Like, the mana in this kind of decks, like the mana in Titan Vial is horrid. Like, we're playing 27 lands when only playing 2 colors, and the mana is still awful. So here we're adding 4 lands, which helps a little bit, but we're cutting the vial, so the colors are going to be tougher, and I have no idea how reliable our mana is going to be. So we're going to see how that works out. But yeah, that's interesting that we want to be playing Lightning Bolt instead of Path to Exile when we are splashing white a lot heavier, in a heavier way. I understand the idea of, you know, wanting to, if you have to answer a threat from Powers, you'd rather bolt it than path it. But, you know, it kind of is what it is. Then we have 1 Mind Sensor, 1 Eidolon, and 1 Knight, and a second copy of Gargaroth. And finally, Zach had access to Ghost Quarter, to 2 Ghost Quarters in the sideboard. And this is better against Tron, but against all the Scape Shift and Control decks, Tectonic Edge is significantly better than Ghost Quarter. So I think I'd rather have access to the split. And even against Tron decks, it's still the same thing. Like, you'd probably still have a split between both of them. Usually when I play AmuLIT, and if I want to have like a Ghost Quarter style effect in my sideboard, I'll just go ahead and play Tech Edge instead. Because even against Tron, like, the only way that you cannot Tech Edge their Tron is if you you're going to be tutoring for the Ghost Quarter effect anyway, right? And if you Ghost Quarter their first Tron, and like, if they next level you and they just decline to search, right? Like, that's never gonna happen. So you can safely assume that once you Ghost Quarter them for the first time, then Tech Edge is gonna be live and you're gonna be able to keep them off Tron, which is also a big deal against specifically Oblivion Stone, which is one of this deck's one of Tron's ways, few ways actually, to keep up with a deck like this. All right, so that was a 10-minute deck. Don't worry about it. I guess we keep this. This kind of hand is a lot more exciting in a deck like this because the curve is a lot higher. Like in Titan Vial, we can keep a hand like this, and instead of having Oracle and Primetime, we would have like 3 drops, for example, and we would have a bounce land, so our Reclaimer would be able to make it to help us keep make our line drops, even if we don't get to untap with it. But I think we still keep this. When I move to 6, I think I'm gonna get a Stomping Ground here. Doesn't this have the same problem that fall into Gust? No, this deck's curve is a lot lower than AmuLIT overall. And you have like stuff to do before you get to Titan. AmuLIT doesn't really. You want to throw us around? I think I'd much rather have Cursor over Oracle of Muldaya. Yeah, it's a matter of preference, I guess. Okay. This is fine. So we're just gonna tap. My opponent is shocked, which is shocking. But this is kind of cool because now. Wait, what? What the fuck is going on? Oh, shit. It's this deck. We might be able to beat that, actually. What is this? This is 4. Can go get Courser. It's important to know that we do not have access to a bounce land, so yeah, I don't think we're gonna be able to beat this deck, realistically speaking. Turn 1 double 4/4 is definitely an interesting and tough to beat scenario. Trying to envision how the next couple of turns are going to look like. So I think what we have to do is we're going to use Reclaimer. We're going to take this damage. We're going to use Reclaimer on my end step. Maybe, honestly, I should have fetched before this. We didn't get punished, but I should have definitely fetched before this. I'm going to go with Flagstones. And then we're going to pass the turn. I'm going to chomp the Rhino. We also don't have access to Radiant Fountain. That's rough. I wonder how much we'll miss Thalia and we immediately get paired against this deck. That's really funny. That's really, really funny. Like, well, Thalia would be insane right now, right? So we just have to luck sack and untap land. There's no ways around it. No, actually we're fine-ish. Because we have a one-off castle that we're gonna go get. We're gonna go use to play this Titan, but then we might not be able to stabilize. Like, we need to draw land. I guess any land will do it, so that's the good thing. But any land will do it, which is fine. Should probably gotten Scattered Groves, I guess. So we just need any land. I guess any untapped land, because I would like to go squatter myself. I would like to not go squatter myself, I mean. Okay, so if they have a remand or something, we're just dead, but... I mean, we had a plan, right? We had a plan. Alright. Of course, restore balance, any of that nonsense just kills me, right? So Field of the Dead, and I guess we're gonna get Flagstones here. Because if they have nothing, we can set up lethal next turn through the Dryad anyway, and the Flagstones allows me to at least have a land in play if my opponent were to restore balance here. I guess that if they have another Electro Dominance into Crushing Footfalls, we're also dead. Yeah, okay, so they have another Crushing Footfall, so this is just lethal now. Yeah, definitely means Thalia there, I'll tell you that much. Okay, so... these are the cards that I'm interested in, which are not very good, but I expect my opponent to have access to Blood Moon. And because of that, I probably don't want the Summoner's Pact. Path is nonsense. Mind Sensor is kind of nonsense. Maybe Purge. Yeah. I think we're gonna go with this. This is also another thing that I wanted to point out. Like Titan Vial has a shot against Storm and decks like that. I don't think this deck can ever beat Storm in a million years. Same thing with Ad Nauseam, etc. Like there's a bunch of decks that this deck simply is not gonna be able to beat. I guess I'm gonna lead on Stomping Ground here, because it allows me to play Reclaimer here. And if my opponent does kill the Reclaimer, we still get to Wrenn onto. Jagger blocks really well if we can get to it. Yeah. I mean, I don't think I would like to. That's not my plan, right? And here, of course, I'm going to prioritize activating Reclaimer. That was a terrible draw, by the way. I'm going to prioritize activating Reclaimer instead of playing Wrenn there. It's worst against my opponent suspending Gargadon and like doing the thingy, but I think it's kind of important to get my engine going here, obviously. So I think I'm gonna get a Temple Garden here. And probably just get another Flagstones here. I think I'm just getting another Flagstones, yeah. Well, actually, no. We can get value here because I can just Wrenn, get back the stones, and just play that for turn. So yeah, we can actually just get value here. So I guess I'm gonna go for field. And I'm very interested in getting the Planeswalker into play before my opponent gets to... Oh, maybe I should have played around Remand, actually. Eesh. Yeah, that might be bad. There's no way I'm going to be playing Veil in this matchup, however. Master plan locally was to play big mana decks like Titan Shift and AmuLIT to get everyone else to start playing big mana decks. Then I was going to come back to instant free spells and take over. My plan went well into execution, but then Corona. Oh, brutal. Brutal! Alright, so we're not suspending Gargadon there. It's big game for sure. Not suspending Gargadon is definitely big game there. Let's cut it gross. And I guess we're gonna get Valakut here. Is my opponent flooding or am I getting jebaited is the question. I shouldn't have floated the mana, but whatever. I guess that even if they destroy all of my lands, like we still get a land back. We're still kind of fine. No, I didn't make any changes to the deck. This is just a different deck. Baku, just a completely different deck, has nothing to do with Titan Vial. Yeah, I kind of want to draw these lands. It's interesting to see how we play in the deck, but doesn't do anything with vials, so it makes sense with vials. We're cut to try it. Yeah, I mean, their reasoning makes sense, right? I think that Zach's and Harlan's reasoning makes perfect sense. Okay, so guess we're gonna get got here. Or maybe not. Definitely want to shuffle here. The top card of my deck sucks, so... Sure. These are all Titan Stone Reclaimer decks. Yeah, Titan Vial is not a... I feel like I feel like a broken record here, but Titan Vial is not a... It's not a Titan deck. It's probably the number one misconception about Titan Vial is probably the fact that everyone thinks that it's a Titan deck, and it really isn't. That's like saying that blue-white is a Teferi deck. I think we have so many lands that we're just fine doing this. It's rough that they suspended Gargadon. I'm definitely going to be shuffling my deck though. 31 land is showing. Yeah, but do you see any problem with that? Like, the only problem is that my opponent's playing Restore Balance in their deck, right? I don't have any issue with drawing all of these lands. I'm perfectly happy. So I don't really see drawing all of these lands as a downside. Oh, this is my opponent's plan? Can we set up lethal here? So if they have second monkey... So they need second monkey... I'm gonna YOLO. Just gonna YOLO here. So they will need second monkey, another Electro Dominance, and the thingy. But this actually sets up lethal. I think that attempting to set up lethal here is my best shot. What is this? Is this already lethal? Yes, it is. Alright, sweet. Okay, yeah, as I was saying, we should not be able to win this game under normal circumstances, I think. Purge is the only other thing that I'm considering. Purge answers Blood Moon. Honestly, it might be better than the Bojuka Bog. Maybe I should play Tech Edge instead of Bojuka Bog. No, I'm not gonna bring the second Gargoth. Like this, that's not the game that I want to be playing, right? That's not the game that I want to be playing. And if I'm able to cast Gargoth, then if I am doing my things correctly, then I should be able to cast Primetime, and Primetime is just so much better. I don't think I want Gargoth. Even I don't even like the one that's in the main deck right now, honestly. I just don't think I have better options. Oh yeah. Good old Cavern Souls. I think I'm gonna keep this hand though. We get to turn to a Wrenn and then hope that it works. And then we probably make an uncounterable Eidolon, honestly. Try to play through a Remand. And unless my opponent has something very good, we should be fine-ish. Turn 1 Ancestral is okay. I would be more scared out of turn 2 Gargadon. Yeah, this hand is okay, but the problem with this hand is that it depends a lot on what my opponent has. But, like, this is just such a bad matchup for us. So it's kind of like, it is what it is, you know? We're kind of doing the thing that we're doing, and if our opponent has literally anything, honestly. Secret Foundry. That sucks as that's the land that I was willing to go get, but I feel like we need to draw the card here. Gotta get Wrenn going. Alright, at least that means no moon, which is good for us. No moon is certainly good. And the play here is probably going to be Cavern of Spirit and play Eidolon. It's not bad. That's not bad. Very interesting not getting remanded here. That's why I went for this. That was a sick draw, by the way. Because that means that if they do find their as foretold, then we can just destroy it. Which is obviously awesome. We do get got by Moon here. But if we get to untap, then we're fine against Moon, which is nice. Electro Dominance is basically a blank at this point. So let's get Forest. Let's plus here. Might as well get my 1 point. And I'm gonna play a Dryad here. Probably play Field. It's a good sign for us. Also, this means that the Dryad resolves. Sweet. It's either Field or Stomping Ground. I was going to go fetch a basic, but then we drew the basic, so I think I don't want to play the basic, so I think I'm just gonna get the Field out of my hand. We're looking good here. If they get to 6 mana, they get to kill Eidolon with Electro Dominance. How does that work, though? No place is good for the home team. gonna get remanded here. But that's okay. Like, that's just the name of the game here at this point. They can't Cryptic, because even if they have Manamorphose, they can only play one spell, so Cryptic doesn't do anything. Okay, so that resolved, which is interesting. Valakut, Valakut. I don't know, work. Now we play the fetch land, so we actually have lethal confirmed. Because any spell that they play, we just fetch. That was cool. So that win was largely on my opponent not keeping very good hands, and our hand was definitely like in the top 5% of hands that we could have drawn there, right? Like turn two Wrenn into turn 3 Eidolon, uncounterable that is even, so we could even beat the remand, and the Eidolon was just enough to disrupt them. So they definitely kept a bad hand, and we definitely found one hand that was definitely towards the top of the hand quality that this deck can produce. This deck looks sweet. This deck is sweet. So this is nice, but here we see a little bit of the dis-synergy, right? Like we need to be using our mana to Reclaimer, so that means that we cannot cast Explorers and we cannot cast Eladamri Skulls. So this is why this is a big part of why the deck plays Vial in the first place. So my opponent going to disrespect the Reclaimer. One does not simply disrespect the Reclaimer opponent. Can you imagine if we had access to a Naya Triome? Can you imagine how insane that would look? Actually, I never updated the stream title. My bad. What is this? Yeah. Big, huge punt from OP here. Massive, massive, massive mistake from them to allow me to untap with my Reclaimer. There was no reason at all to do it. And they allowed me to get... They don't even know how much value they just allowed me to get. Now I'm going to be able to fix my mana because this is going to get a Sacred Foundry. Like we are yeah, that was a really, really big mistake from my opponent. Sacred Foundry, let's go. And we don't know what we're playing against. It is possible that we should be getting Windswept Heath. It is quite possible we should be getting Windswept Heath, but I think I'm going to go the field route. And we're going to try to get this going ASAP. Let's explore first. Then we're going to Wrenn. Plus... So one thing was, I think they're playing Skred, yeah. I think they are on Skred. Karn, Chandra. Hazoret. Oh yeah, the classic Chandra bug. So we cannot actually get rid of this little window here, which is super annoying. But it is what it is. I think the play here is gonna be to can plus Wrenn. So the issue and why I don't want to call just yet. The reason why I don't want to call just yet is because it's very, very likely that my opponent is playing Blood Moon in their deck, right? So if I go and I get Dryad right now, then we kind of get punished. So what I think I want to do is I'm just going to play this Plains, I'm going to plus this Wrenn, and I'm just going to pass the turn. If my opponent plays a Blood Moon, I'm just gonna have to call for Night of Autumn. And if they don't play a Blood Moon, then we just get to call for Titan, and they probably are not going to be able to beat a Resolve Titan. It's a lot of mana though. Chandra Flamecaller. Sure. It's worse than a Primeval Titan, I'll tell you that much. They do have enough to Karn plus a Snare Bridge, so if they do have Karn plus a Snare Bridge, that could be a problem. Oh, hello. Sweet. 4, 5, 6. Getting Field plus Valakut here. And I guess that this card is basically irrelevant, so we're gonna get it out of the way right now. I'm not playing AmuLIT. Played AmuLIT on Monday. We're gonna play Dryad and Titan. Yeah, but I'd rather get the field going because it forces the Chandra minus, right? Yeah, it's fine. Oh, I didn't think about this. Oh, that's fine though. We're still okay. Yeah. Oh wow, no. Oh come on. Really? Ugh. They missed the line to kill my Titan, but they spiked the Blood Moon. Oh, never mind. Yeah, their line was a lot better. Never mind, opponent. You're good. You're good. So we just lose to the Chandra Emblem here. Yeah, we got. We cannot beat the emblem, right? That's the problem. Brutal. How do we feel about bolts? Probably nah, huh? I'm not very excited about Wrenn in this matchup. I think it's okay though. Yeah, I'm just interested in having answers to Planeswalkers, right? Like the way that my opponent wins this game is Blood Moon plus Planeswalkers. Because like they cannot win on board. So I don't really care about the board. But Lightning Bolt allows me to like bolt Karn Like, given enough time, I feel like I win all the games, right? Unless something very, very strange happens. This hand is unkeepable, I think. Huh, actually this hand is better than it looks. We have access to basic plains and basic forest. Huh. And we have us. Yeah, I think I'm actually gonna keep this hand, which is kind of awkward, right? Kind of an awkward hard to keep, but we can even beat turn 2 Blood Moon. I don't want to say easily, but kind of easily. So we can Courser on 3. If we go Scorer ourselves. I guess the plan is to turn... Sure. So I guess that we just do this now. Just take the 2-for-1 easy. Play Heath, pass the turn. We're gonna be able to call on the red step. Did I see the land destruction leak? No, I don't know what you're talking about. So this is from the Ghost Quarter, so we're gonna get a forest. This is from the Flagstones. We're gonna get a basic plains. We can call here. I think I'm gonna call for Dryad, because we can pact for Knight of Autumn if we need to. Looking pretty good here. Looking pretty good. Oh yeah. Good old 2-for-1. Was posted on Reddit? Yeah, I don't really follow Reddit. Destroy on basic land and cantrip. No, that's a fake. I can just by reading it, I can confirm that it's a fake. Just by reading it, I can confirm that it's a fake. Yeah, we're gonna win this game pretty easily, I assume. We sealed. Oh, we're getting another 2-for-1 here. This is nice. 2-for-1 city over here. Literally every exchange that has happened so far has been a 2-for-1 in my favor. I purged my opponent that cast the turn 2 for Ferocity because they use a Simian Spirit Guide. 2-for-1. Then they 2-for-1 to kill my Courser, and they 2-for-1 to kill my Triad. That is really funny. So I'm gonna get the basic plains and I guess another Valakut here. And I'm gonna hold on to this, and we're gonna pact for Knight of Autumn, and then the Triad's probably gonna win. Pia and Kieran. In today's episode of Threats That Did Not Age Well, we remember Pira and Kieran Nalar. Oh, okay, so the controller. Oh, okay. That's a different story. The way that you read it earlier, so that you destroy land and you cantrip, that's just not reasonable, because every deck ever plays basics, plays non-basics, so that card would be absolutely broken. Actually, my opponent has Ferocidons. Maybe I actually do want lightning bolts. And they could have magazine. I should definitely have bolts in my deck. Like, why am I not playing bolts? Why am I listening to chat? I should have followed my instinct. Keep this hand, of course. Basic forest. Let's go. Wrenn Titan sounds. That's like the ultimate Fran deck, right? Wrenn Titan. Hey man, how's it going? Lightning bolt, my dude. Well, here's another dude. Doing well here. Trying out this nice little brewski, which actually looks pretty awesome. I'm allowed to untap with Reclaimer again. This is like the dream. And I'm of course prioritizing activating Reclaimer instead of playing Dryad. Can do that next turn. Reclaimer, hell yeah. Now you're speaking my language, right? Splinter Twin, right here. Splinter Twin. Sure. I could have prevented this if I had played Flagstones on turn 2, but I honestly was not expecting this. What was the last time I saw this card? I wonder how many years that is. We have multiple options here. We can go the Valakut route. We already have the both of the basics, so that's nice. I feel like Fista Cuff Smith, I will follow. I feel like getting field online quickly is gonna be important too, so I guess that I want to find like a fetch land. Actually, fetch land doesn't sound bad. I was thinking about proxying this deck to learn it before purchasing it. What list would you suggest I start with? Probably like my list that I was playing. When did I stream Titan Vial? It was Tuesday. I liked my list that I streamed on Tuesday a lot, so I would probably start there. Koth. Speaking of, yet another planeswalker that has not aged well. So we can Wrenn here. That's probably what I'm gonna do. Gonna kill Koth. Fetch for basic forest. Wrenn. Plus on fetch. Pass the turn. Check out the legit spoiler. Yeah, I'm probably not gonna take that spoiler too seriously. Sorry to disappoint you, Stabs. I think I should go for lethal, I guess. They could have answered my Dryad and they didn't, right? So I have to assume that they don't have it. People get really excited about nonsense. Stones equals 3 triggers plus Vesuva. Yeah. Again, my opponent could have twice in back-to-back games. I guess it wasn't back-to-back. It was game one that my opponent underestimated the Reclaimer. But like, they underestimated the Reclaimer right there, and they got so punished. It was great. I honestly don't understand how you see this card on the other side of the battlefield and you're like, yeah, it's fine. My opponent can definitely untap with that. It's gonna be fine. Like, what's the worst that could happen? I think this hand's bad. Is this better? Oh, yeah, well, we're probably gonna face the Wrath here. We're probably gonna get punished for playing Red and 6 instead of Aether Vial. Can you imagine if this were Aether Vial instead of Wrenn? We would be in insane shape. We would be in such great shape if this were Aether Vial instead of Wrenn. I still got a jam though. Because I can't have my opponent playing I can't have my opponent just playing Growth Spiral here. No AmuLIT today? No. I played AmuLIT on Monday. You can go to my YouTube and you can check out the VODs if you want some sweet AmuLIT content. YOLO. Alright, so we're probably gonna get countered here somehow. Remand, force, etc, etc, etc. Mana leak. Oh. Nope, I clicked the wrong one. One of the other one. It's okay. That's Pog though. Wrenn resolving. It's kind of a big deal. What if you have ever watched every single video? I don't think there's anybody in the entire world that has watched every single video that I have on YouTube. Okay, that's bad. Damn, this game would be so much easier if this had been a Nether Vial instead of a Wrenn. We're gonna probably see an end step FOF. Yep. We'll just do this, right? Can we even do this? No, because this is a FOF, right? But this is a FOF a turn from now. Bomb it. Switch islands. So when they keep this one, oh, they kept the other one. Okay, it's fine with me. So I guess that means that they don't want to draw a Factor Fiction. Because if they wanted to, they could have drawn a Factor Fiction right there. Ooh, hook me up with a Bog. Bog off the top one time. Bog off the top one time. To reclaim or not to reclaim? My opponent can have Wrath here. Yeah, I think I'm gonna play the Reclaimer into my opponent's Supreme Verdict because that allows me to cast this Dryad next turn. So we're just gonna get Verdicted here, whatever. Oh. Okay. That's... I'm not even convinced that that is less bad, actually. I was gonna say that is less bad, but I'm not so sure. Ugh, these FOFs are killing me. Cryptic is the best card. They're gonna have Uro in play now. Can't really give them a fetch. Let's give them another Uro, I guess. Yeah, there's no good split here. Like, everything is just game losing for me, so... Man, it's tough. I really don't know how we're supposed to win this game. This is bad. At least allows me to get another land into play though. Because if I yeah, that's the idea. How many boils am I playing? It's an interesting line, actually. By interesting, I mean very confusing. We might need to bog here. That's why I'm waiting on the Reclamation activation. I wish I could go for Cavern, but I'm just not sure I'm going to be able to. Same stomping ground. Sounds good. Okay. So they're out of Mystic Sanctuaries, and my land drop for turn is going to be Ghost Quarter now. So that means that they're not going to be able to loop Sanctuaries unless they draw another Cryptic. That's something, at least. Oh, sweet. They fixed my mana for me. Awesome. I think we... Never mind. I was gonna say, I think we chump with this Courser, but like, I guess that answers that. Yeah, things are not looking good now. Sick mana base nerd. Great mana base nerd. Just getting kind of bullied here. Just getting kind of bullied. Oh, Ro, you're so silly. You are so silly, Uro. Again, this game would be a lot easier if I had access to an Aether Vial. Look at the amount of cards that we would have been able to blank from my opponent's hand had we had access to Vial. These are the matchups that get hurt the most, obviously. So I think this is gonna be another snappy. No, I guess no. Point is just shocking because they can, just to show off superiority, you know. Okay, those are good. This is not as good. And that's kind of about it. We want Knight, we don't want Gargaroth, we want Mind Sensor, we want Veils. Explorer can go, playing Bant, so I guess Oracle is okay. Maybe Pacts can go, we can cut Castle. The problem if I Ghost Quarter Field of the Dead, then my opponent can actually... The Ghost Quarter is preventing me from getting Cryptic locked. Oh, Eidolon. I actually do like Eidolon in this matchup. Whoops. Yeah, let's do that. So if I destroy the field, then my opponent just Cryptic locks me and I lose anyway. So I'd rather lose... I guess potentially lose instead of like straight up losing. You know what I'm saying? This hand is really, really bad if my opponent answers this Wrenn. This hand is a lot better. Eidolon also looking a lot worse with no Val. Yeah, but Like, we can still work with it, right? I think I'm actually gonna Reclaimer here. Well, with my opponent playing basic island, I think I'm just gonna slam the Wrenn, actually. Alright, so their hunt sucks. This is awkward. But I think we're going to be able to recoup effectively. Because we're going to get Reclaimer going starting next turn. Growth Spiral? Yeah. Sure. Thank you. Awesome. Big Tef. Okay, that one is actually problematic. Maybe I should have killed this. Let's get a 4-3. Something to clock this Tifferoni. So I guess I'm gonna go for Cavern. It's a shit ton of mana, huh? I think he has to be Cavern, right? Just Cavern on Giant, and we just get host by... We just get host by Aether Gust. In classic primetime deck fashion. Sad face. We have infinite veils if we want to. That's really funny. We still want to trigger this, and I think we just want to hold up Ghost Quarter. We're just gonna get gusted here. I don't think this can be avoided. I hate this card so much. Is this a donation? No, this is not a donation deck. If we go squatter ourselves, we fizzle this. I think I'm super interested in doing this. Remand, you say? Remand, you say? Okay, let's go. Field of the Dead here? Yeah, because I don't care about them getting back anything that they have in the yard currently, so... Let's bring the dead. No, this is not a Dota deck. What about Never Ever Splash a Color? Did you see the list that I'm playing? This is nothing like Titan Vial. It's not even playing Vial. It's a completely different deck. Entirely different deck, so... Should not be compared to Titan Vial. Affinity doesn't play Affinity cards. Yeah, Affinity is also not a deck either, so there's that. So I think we might be go squattering. Cycle here, and I think we're gonna Wrenn plus on this cycling land. I think we're just gonna be go squattering their field. Off. So we don't care about Gust anymore. They're clearly missing land drops. Yeah, let's do this. Okay. So... I guess they can Cryptic bounce their field. It's fine. Interesting game. It's actually kind of an interesting game. I am surprised that they didn't have the Gust on the turn that they cast the Remand. And it was definitely key that we go squatter ourselves to prevent them from being a land up, basically. That was kind of a huge deal. Ended up mattering a lot. Gust my Wrenn? Nuh-uh. Thank you very much. If they have Remand, they should probably remand their own Gust. Cryptic counter draw. Nuh-uh. Hello there. I'm gonna count those as positive exchanges for us. I'm gonna definitely count those as positive exchanges for us. It also means that we don't have to worry about Uro this turn. And it also means that we're gonna get to untap with Reclaimer, meaning that we're gonna be able to bog them. Which is kind of great. So they put Cryptic on top. Think we cycle take it here. Don't tell me that they have the extra turn thingy. Don't do it. Don't have the Nexus. I think I'm actually just gonna tap here. Infinite Veils, let's go. My opponent doesn't want to play against Infinite Veil of Summers. That was cool. I think I like all the other cards. I think I like the cards in my deck better than the cards in my sideboard. Big Bog. Wrenn Titans are here for this. Yeah, this is actually... It's funny because it is kind of like a mixture of two of my brews together. So this is halfway Titan Vial, right? And it's halfway Wrenn and Memes. Because like we have the calls, we have like the one-off package. And then the rest of the shell is very similar to like the early versions of Wrenn and Memes. So it's pretty, I guess it's closer to this one because it's a Reclaimer Flagstones deck. So it's really funny how Zach ended up kind of like in between both of those decks. In prompt 3, think about the follow. Splinter Twin assembled. Splinter Twin successfully assembled. If they gust, I was gonna say, if they gust me end step, we just leave the Reclaimer on top. I mean, we sack Blackstones in response, and then we put Reclaimer on top. We might get gusted here, but that's fine. Should I get Valakut? We can also just get Flagstones and just pass the turn here. I think I'm gonna do that. We get punished for doing this if they go like path this guy now. Or gust this guy now. Yeah, that's fine. We put it on top though. What are they gonna do? Remand my Reclaimer? They could Mana Leak it. I did not play around Mana Leak. Maybe that was a mistake. I mean, if they Mana Leak this, that means that I resold my Dryad though. So is it even really that bad? Like, it's just fine. So next turn we have Uncounterable Titan, and they already used a Gust on my Reclaimer, so not looking bad for now. Do I want to play around exactly either Gust? I guess Path to Exile would. No, but yeah, I think I'm just gonna go for it here. We're gonna go get Valakut in field. If they have exactly Gust, that's problematic, but this actually puts us ahead. If they don't have an answer to the Dryad. Always yes, always yield. They could Wrath, I guess. Yeah, they can Wrath now. So this does... Oh, okay. Well, they're dead now, unless they have something very good. Cryptic? Does Cryptic do it? Ugh, they have Nexus. Nexus is really bad for us here. We kind of beat anything else that's not a Nexus. But we probably might lose to the Nexus. Yeah, there we go. So if they have any kind of business going, I think that we're going to be naked to it. Udo, Foff, brutal. That's the best possible one. So we beat Cryptic. We also beat Snapcaster. This doesn't matter. This kind of matters. So I definitely want to split the Isolate and the Cryptic. I definitely want both of these split. I think I'm going to go with this. They might keep the top one. Like, if I were them, I would keep the top one. If I were them, I would keep the top one. It's close. They did keep the top one. Yeah. Because Isolate just kills the Reclaimer. Has Dryad replaced Azusa? No, I mean, they do different things. I wouldn't play Azusa in this deck, right? Why would you play Azusa in this deck? And the answer is you wouldn't. So saying that one replaces the other is just not true. I'm gonna need to draw something now. Field Valakut probably. How much does the mana matter versus the fields? Oh, they just played the Cryptic. So the last card in their one unknown was actually a Cryptic. That is brutal now. That is super bad for us. I really have to use Cap every time I crack a joke. I mean, I'm in the middle of a serious game. Jesus, I'm sorry. I'm in serious mode unless you play the Kappa. Yeah, I think that this is fine, and I think that we have to kind of let this go because it's important for us to, like, we can still naturally draw another Valakut, right? And if we naturally draw another Valakut, we'd rather have access to these heaths. This is already lethal, so like holding on to this heath, we play around Wrath. And like we're already getting Cryptic next turn. Alright, so they're in the looping Cryptic part of the game. Don't have Uro. Fuck, man. So Remand Snapcaster Cryptic is... It's funny how like the unknown cards both times were the perfect card, right? Based on how I split the Factor Fiction. The cards that I didn't know about were just the perfect cards every time. Which was the Cryptic on the previous turn and then the Uro right now. Because the Uro allows them to start pulling ahead as early as this coming turn. How can I win this? Valakut. If I draw Valakut off the top, we might be able to win this. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so they still have Remand Snapcaster. They can still Snapgust, though. Huh. There's Eidolon. This actually matters. So another Snapcaster is blanked. No, there's no Raminap. Raminap would have been kind of sick, actually. Are they going the Foff route? I'm gonna be able to Foff for their turn. Boom Forest, thank you for the follow. They can't cast Nexus here, though. They're gonna be able to cast Nexus next turn. But I can draw something good otherwise. We didn't, but I could have. Maybe I could have. So here we're gonna go for Cryptic Tap. Now they have cast their one spell. We can Reclaimer. Pass the turn. Hand is Snapcaster Nexus. Why not Titan for Valakut there? Because I know for a fact that my opponent has a Snapcaster in hand, and I know for a fact that they have an Aether Gust in the graveyard. So if I go for Titan, they just Snapcaster Gust. That's it. So by doing this, I'm making my opponent's turns a lot more awkward. Because like if they can only play one spell a turn. And that was not a good draw, but it wasn't terrible either, right? This Eidolon is annoying them. Yeah, a lot actually. This Reclaimer is our game plan. Don't tell me they just naturally drew. Okay, that's fine. In fact, do I even care about these? Yeah, I think this is fine. That's another improvement stuff. Yeah, but I fetch for the Eidolon, right? So you can't have everything, Wombo Combo. You can't have everything. Eidolon is exactly what I called for. So if I called for the Eidolon, then I can't call for the Titan. I want everything. Yeah, that's unfortunately not how it works. Let's do Stomping Ground tapped. Gonna use the Sombo to chump. Scatter the Groves there. I'm gonna get a Valakut here. I'm gonna kill the Uro. So we can, I think I'm gonna attempt to Luxac here. I think I'm gonna attempt to Luxac here. Didn't work out. I think I'm gonna just game 4 here. They should have definitely played the Uro there. It's probably gonna bounce one of my zombies here. Idol doing insane amounts of work right now. I don't understand how they didn't pass the Eidolon and they multi-spelled. Like, this Eidolon is hosing them hard. Yeah, I don't know. Feels like they could have done something there. Anyway. Alright, 3-0, baby. I think, given infinite time, my opponent was more likely to win, but like, we still had access to Bojukabog there, so I think they honestly might have made a mistake. They should have started the turn by pathing the Eidolon and then take it from there. But even still, we still have draws, right? Like, if we draw a Ghost Quarter, we stop the lock. Yeah, I still had access to Bojukabog. My opponent says they're a big fan of the stream. Sweet, sweet, sweet. Always happy to face fellow Primetime Stronghold members. Oh. Lol. Lol. Let's go for Stomping Ground here. What are we gonna Flagstones for? Probably Ghost Quarter. Okay, so they're an AmuLIT, which is bad for us. Just trying to make a Titan deck for the people with deep pocket. This is not my deck. This is Zach Allen's. But this is not my deck. I mean, it's a mixture of two of my decks, but it's not my deck. for us. Explosives for 1. See, my opponent knows what's up. They respect the Reclaimer. They know what's up. Go get Temple Garland. What we're gonna find here. Let's get Ghost Quarter. My plan is to Flagstones here. And next turn we're gonna Pact for Dryad and we're gonna make a bunch of land drops all together. I really don't think it's worth it for me to go Squatter their Bordos Garrison because anything just kills me. So my plan is for them to not have a Titan here because I probably cannot beat a Titan. But if we do get to untap, we're going to be able to turn the corner. Huh. So we sack this, go get Valakut. One, two, three. Smack to 4. Boom, boom. That's 3 Valakut triggers. Oh, 1 Valakut trigger off. Brutal. Man, they still have 1 land drop left, which is awful. No, I don't think Titan wins this game because my opponent is ahead. They were able to cast the Titan first. So once your opponent has cast the Titan, the way that you can potentially come back is through Dryad. What I'm thinking here is my opponent kills my dude. I don't think they can haste. They just don't have enough land drops unless they are sequencing very well and they didn't show me the land before. What I'm thinking is that this is, if they go, I think we just have to hope that they don't have another land. I think we just have to hope that they don't have another land. Yeah, Valakut plus Vesuva kills us, right? Yeah, okay, so they do have another Valakut. Yeah, so I guess I should have Ghost Quarter there. Yeah, this was actually just lethal. What am I even thinking? Like, I forgot that this is gonna trigger 3 times. Yeah, I fucked up. I fucked up. I should have Ghost Quartered in response. I should have Ghost Quartered in response like an idiot. I guess not like an idiot is more accurate. I think I'll probably shave a field here. Mind Sensor is great, Knight of Autumn's great, Garderoth is underwhelming. Pass probably Necessary Evil. Probably shave a Wrenn, shave an Oracle. I guess I like Oracle better than Courser. And I guess I like Wrenn better than Oracle. They probably think you're Untitled. I showed them Stomping Ground, so I doubt it. That was bad, though. I tanked for so long and I still ended up in the wrong play. Feels bad when that happens. I should have Ghost Squad in response. I mean, it probably means that I'm not losing. I don't know if it necessarily means that I'm going to be winning that game, but... I mean, it's better than straight up losing like I ended up doing, you know? So it's a little bit weird, but I think I should lead on Windswept Heath here. Because if we find a Wrenn, then we're going to be fine regardless, right? But what this does is, if I find a call, I can actually cast it next turn if I want to. Ha. Do I want to call it, though? I think I don't. I think I'm going to go for the Valakut. Oh, that's messed up. Well, in theory, they can't Titan here. Because they're playing Stacy. Gross. Man, this AmuLIT deck's pretty fucking good, huh? I mean, we can Mind Sensor here, but like we're just losing to the 6/6 anyway, right? So I think I'd rather just Knight of Autumn, blow up the AmuLIT, hope that they don't have enough mana to cast the Titan. Because you always want to blow up the Dryad, but like they have Stacy in play, so and they bounce the bounce, so I know that they have a bounce land in hand at least. So I'm just hoping that they don't have another untap land, and that we are able to delay them enough that I can get my own Dryad going, basically. Not having access to Rhyming Up is kind of rough. Like when this deck doesn't draw in. Oh, okay, never mind. So we're just dead. Oh, okay. So they're missing land drops. Interesting. I'm gonna go for Mind Sensor, I think. And I guess we can go for another Knight next turn. Well, that was a huge punt from them then, if they did not hold the bounce land in hand. Huge mistake. Flame Bane, thank you for the follow. Yeah, kind of a really, really bad mistake on their side, unfortunately. Mind Sensor, let's go. Poggers. This land first. Dryad. Second Valakut. Hello. Always yes, always yes, always healed. We can use fetch land to kill a Titan. Titan can only look at the top 4 cards. And we can even call. Alright, so we're actually gonna win this one, I think. Sure. Packed with a Mind Sensor in play. Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. Yeah, huge mistake from my opponent to not hold the bounce land in hand. If they had held the bounce land, I think we would have lost that game pretty handily. Yeah, my opponent is saying exactly the same thing. Yeah, because their hand was pretty nutty, honestly. Their hand had everything. They had Stacy, they had AmuLIT, they had Dryad, and they had multiple Titans. But that one tiny little mistake ended up costing them the entire game. Man, this hand is so close. I think I'm gonna ship it. This is better, I guess. Gonna bottom the Titan because we might find Flagstones. rough. Pretty rough. I mean, when AmuLIT draws like that, it looks so busted. It looks so freaking busted. It's insane. Holy crap. Okay, so how is this gonna play out? Is this going to matter? They can play around it very easily. I think we still have to, I guess we show them. Oh. Okay. This is my favorite thing about playing against AmuLIT. Is like you finally get to auto yield to your opponent's bounce lands and stuff. Hey Caleb, how's it going? Just getting what's the phrase? Getting a taste of my own medicine. Yeah, that's what I want to say. Just getting a little taste of my own medicine here. How am I liking the red? I mean, it's not liking the red. It's a different deck. This is not Titan Vial. It's just a completely different deck, and it's been fun. It's been pretty good. I've been liking it. So far, it's been solid. Can we cheese them out? Not really, right? Because they have Stacy. No, we can't, because they have Dryad. Yeah, also that. But wait, there's more. Okay, I'm just done here. Let's move on to the next one, shall we? If I'm gonna go down, though, I might as well go down to good old AmuLIT. The 5-0 has been denied, though. No trophy for us. No trophy for us. Alright, thoughts about the deck so far. I feel like I want one more basic forest. Born by Blood. Thank you for the follow. Your hands were insane? Yeah, they were very good. Sure, keep this. Oh, we're playing against Grant. Grant has been posting about how he's been destroying with Neoform. And I said, oh no. So it stands to reason that we are going to get paired against him. Alright. Turn 1 field. Go! Oh man, we're ready for the long game. We are ready for the long game, chat. I think we have this long game locked up. Don't you think so? There was a hard cast Edge of Autumn? That's kind of sick. I literally don't think I have ever seen that card actually hard cast. I don't think I'm exaggerating when I say that I have never seen that card actually be hard cast. Aether Gust. Aether Gust. Let's go. I guess I might want to cycle. Is this land lethal? It might be lethal. I shouldn't have shocked. I should have played the canopy untapped. So let's say that I survive. I'm just gonna yield up that step. We'll see there. No, I think we're dead. It's weird that they led on the land though. So I guess that he's dead. Sweet. My opponents. He says I drew Gristle. Live by the sword, die by the sword. Oh man. Eidolon, Mind Sensor. That's it. I guess Path and Purge are 1-mana interaction, which is better than probably Oracle, or also I cannot find any disruption with Pacts. Take Edge is better than Blast Zone 2. Yep. This is what it is, I think. Turn 1 Reclaimer, and we can hold up a Purge. So this is, this is what our deck can do, right? Yeah, which I really understand, honestly. Like, the second Griselbrand always seems so weird in that deck. Like, you're playing an all-in deck. Like, that's what you're doing. So that's fine. Like, I think that the naturally drawn Griselbrand is kind of GG's regardless, basically, right? So it kind of just is what it is. Like, you just accept that you got by your own deck and you just move on. Okay, here we go. Has to be Neoform, yep. On the plus side, if they whiff, we probably win. But they didn't. That's a good example of why Neoform isn't bad. Yeah, I'm not gonna get into the discussion. This deck should not exist, period. You know, any argument that tells me that the power level is not enough or whatever, I just don't care to. I don't care to listen to it. Did I mention I'm rebuilding this in paper since it's so cheap right now? Oh no, Jesus, don't tell me that. At least use the TCG player affiliate link. At least. So we're just gonna purge this now. Such a stupid deck. Such a stupid fucking deck. Good to see the opponent playing a nice game of Magic for once. Yeah, I guess they drew 21 cards, and I guess we're still playing. Yeah, it's also weird, like, they didn't play any Allosaurus Riders last turn. Oh, the moment has come, huh? The moment has come. This is really, really funny. This deck is so fucking stupid. What am I gonna get here? Ghost Quarter, I guess. Ghost Quarter can interact. I'm gonna just Wrenn and get back Flagstones. That's gonna be a lander for the turn, so that's why I didn't get another Flagstones there. Oh, okay. So I got punished by drawing well. My bad. My bad. Got punished for drawing well. Attack Ghost Quarter myself. Let's go. We're both on garbage time right now. We're both on garbage time. Attack player Wrenn down tick. It's a lot more value to just Ghost Quarter yourself to attack with a 3/4 Reclaimer, right? Don't you feel much smarter when you do that? Don't you feel so much smarter? Alright, so this deck kind of played exactly as I expected. We completely dominated the mid-range decks. And then we lost a lot of percentage points against the control decks, and we cannot beat the combo decks. Like, we didn't just beat Neoform. Neoform just lost to itself, right? That's exactly what happened. Both games, actually. Game 1, of course, my opponent wasn't even able to combo. Game 2, they just they tried to go for the combo and they fizzled. So we didn't beat Neoform there. Like, we could have kept a hand of, I don't know, like a bunch of 1-1s, and we would have probably won anyway. So it was not really a merit of the deck, the fact that we won that very last match. And we also, I think that if we had had access to infinite time, we would have also lost against the Reclamation deck. So it's different in many ways to... Actually, it's different in almost every single way. Besides the fact that we're playing Splinter Twin in here, everything else it basically has absolutely nothing to do with Esper Vial, right? Like, cards like Veil of Summer are actually at a premium here. Like, it's exactly what we need in the control matchups and stuff. While you just don't really care about the control matchups that much with Esper Vial, because like Vial just takes care of that very, very effectively. Oracle was meh. Seems like the worst card in the deck. That's how I would describe Oracle right now. The Summoner's Pact were also kind of weird. I'm not sure that they wouldn't just be better as just 2 more Illidan Skull, which would give us a little bit of more toolbox options. But like, actually Wrenn with Reclaimer, it's weird. Like, there's a synergy there, and there's also a dyssynergy at the same time. It's a really weird thing to explain, but like, multiple times it felt like it was weird for me to plus and get a land because I was making Reclaimer smaller. But at the same time, I kind of wanted to get the Flagstones going, and it was nice that I could get back the Flagstones that I just sacked, so my Reclaimer, it doesn't need to go get another Flagstones, we can get something else. So it was nice that it gave us more options. What wasn't nice is the fact that this doesn't get going until turn 3 or 4, right? If you go turn 1 Reclaimer, then if you have Wrenn, you kind of have to hold it in hand. And you need to activate Reclaimer on your second turn. So that is different, and that is something that was very undervalued by Zach and Harlan when they did their analysis of Titan Vial, which is the fact that Titan Vial allows you to progress your game plan while you're holding up Reclaimer mana. So that definitely is a big deal. But besides that, the mana base is a little bit shaky. Like, multiple times we struggled to cast Wrenn, and I didn't really change anything from Zach's mana base. I only changed the Windswept Heats. He had Wooded Foothills in his lists, and I just changed that for Windswept Heats because I think that being able to get a Plains in a Bloodmoon matchup, it's very, very important. So I'm not loving the mana. The mana is super, super shaky. I would like to have access to one more basic too. Definitely would like to have access to one more basic forest. Maybe over the 3rd field. Three fields plus Vesuva seems like a little bit too much. So this is probably the first change that I would make. We definitely want more basics. This also makes our green mana situation a lot better. I guess not a lot better, slightly better, but still. And the pacts, and these are basically the flex slots in my eyes. This was fine. 3 Rans was actually fine. I don't think I would want to play the 4th copy. I think that 3 Rans was just like a fine number. These were all... I mean, Dryad, of course, was great, and the other 3 were just medium, which is what you would expect, but they are just... I mean, they're just value targets for Call or Summoner's Pact, so it makes sense. And of course, Prime Time this is unlike Esper Vial, Titan Vial, sorry. This is actually a Titan deck, so we do want the full 4 here, the full playset. But yeah, these are the big question marks in my eyes. Gargaroth particularly, it feels so out of place. But I do like having access to Gargaroth against the Blood Moon decks actually. That's the main reason why I have Gargaroth in Titan Vial right now. It's basically because of the Blood Moon decks, particularly having access to Gargaroth game 1 against Ponza is actually a really big deal. I feel like I would like to have access to a Damping Sphere, maybe 2. Something like this. And their Oracle versus Gargaroth is kind of weird. I think I'm okay with playing one more league with a list like this, making like this small changes and then taking it from there. I did love the Eidolon. But yeah, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you in the next video, and don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.